Welcome, everybody. Boom! Bow, 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 bow. What's up, people? Welcome to episode 41 of the American Idiots Show. And let me tell you, we have got probably one of the biggest guests we've ever had. Top three
Sure.
biggest guests we've ever had. One of them is calling HUSAM a fraud in the chat.
Already.
There he is right there. No, he wanted me to...
TJ, because I know you've had League Honor on this channel. I was about to say I'm there with esteemed company, but now it's Flawless. Come on, Flawless, man. Come on. Flawless can be top 3 nothing. Hold that, you massive fraud. How do you have a pro clubs and you're the worst player in your own team? That's mad. Biggest fraud.
Oh,
see, there you go.
fire's
There you
been
go.
started.
Flawless. I brought it up. Okay, there you go. He asked me to do it, and I did it. All right. That's all I can say. Say. But big up, HUSAM. This is football. Incredible. I got this new camera. It keeps drifting on me. But big up, HUSAM, every single time. Thank you so much for coming on. Hey, look, it's your employee, Mike Doss. He's in the chat too.
Wow. You're calling him my employee now? That's mad. That's bad. Let's go.
But big up, man. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. This is my debut on TJ Warren TV. Big up to you guys. Big up to Dal as well. Nice to meet you as always. First time sharing the screen together. Me and TJ have cooked Jacob multiple times together and Tottenham Hotspur. So it's a pleasure to be here. Everyone watching us right now or on the replay, because I know a lot of you guys will watch us on the replay. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Help my guy TJ out. We're gonna get to more and more milestones because this channel right here is elite. So big up to you guys. And the intro is called, by the way. Speaking of, that's definitely top 2, top 3 intros of all the channels I'm on right there. So that's an elite.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. That's my guy Connor. He's catching some shut eye right now, but yeah, that's our editing guy Connor. Go and hit him up on Instagram, guys. CMO.editing if you want an intro like that. He's absolutely incredible. Yeah, this channel doesn't exist without these guys. So yeah, big up every single time. And look, we're gonna get into the Arsenal Liverpool match. Well, first let me say hi to Dal. Dal, how are you? Sorry, that was rude.
I'm doing great, man. Happy holidays. Just got off a great show with Jez and the rest of our beautiful Arsenal football community.
Yes.
It's great to see HUSAM, someone who I rate very highly in this YouTube community. Thank you for being here today, and happy holidays and blessings to you, my friend. And and bless everyone in the chat for sure. Be sure to hug your family, hug your kids, tell your family you love them. Let's get into it, TJ.
Yes, 110%. All right. So, look, I don't even think, I think we could be logical. If there's one thing that HUSAM is, it's logical, right? I think I'm logical about my opinions about Arsenal, about Liverpool. I don't have a problem with Liverpool, really, because we know what Liverpool are at this point. If we did a combined 11, I feel like we would get that done relatively quickly. I did listen to yours and Troops. I agreed with most of it. But I feel like Arsenal and Liverpool kind of have common enemies this season. It's not really we're oh man, obviously this game's a big game. It's one of the biggest games of the season, 1 versus 2, as it should be in my opinion. Arsenal, Liverpool, but I have to bring it up. We were right. We were right all along. They were imposters, and when we say they, I mean Scott M's friends. We were right about Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
We were.
And why do you think is it hard being right all the time? That's my first question. Is it hard?
I mean, with Spurs, it's difficult to not be right given their track record. It's kind of what always happens. First of all, I knew you were going to bring up the Arsenal part up, and this is my thing, right? I feel like when you look at the people who do YouTube content in general, you've got Chelsea fans, they hate Arsenal. United fans, they hate Arsenal. City fans, they hate Arsenal. Spurs fans, they hate Arsenal. And then there's this one other club where they just want us to join in with the hatred. I'm like, nah, I'm good. When it comes to Arsenal, look, when you're a big football club, when you support Arsenal, when you support Liverpool, when you support Man United, you don't need to force rivalries. You don't need to create rivalries. Your rivalries come naturally. TJ and and they hate Spurs. It's simple. I hate Man United. Our hatred, our
I
rivalries
also hate Man
are
United.
obvious for everyone to see. So I don't have to hate Arsenal just to please the masses. I actually recognize what's happening. I give them credit. And with Spurs, I think, speaking of Staffy TV right here, one of the biggest twerkers. This guy was like, just twerking like mad for Tottenham Hotspur at the start of the season. We all saw it. They just didn't see it. It was one injury away from crisis. And to be fair, it's probably more the Spurs fans that myself and yourself and
Yeah.
many others spoke to that was just insanely cocky and arrogant and just saying the craziest shit. Romero is better than Saliba. Pedro Porro is the best right back in the league, etc., 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 yada, 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 yada. And it just got to a stage where it's like, you guys need to calm down because it's like November, like it's August. So it's funny because all the Spurs fans probably mocked Arsenal last season. Oh, nothing is won in November, and then they went and they did the same thing. So at least Arsenal hung in there until March. You guys were done like 2 months in. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it still breaks my heart every single time I think about it. But no, I think it's just like I thought it was odd how the battle lines got drawn, especially after that Spurs Liverpool game where you guys were absolutely robbed. Like you guys should be undefeated right now. It's just the way it is. Obviously, after
can I
tomorrow,
tell
you
you an
won't be.
unpopular opinion that would get you killed on any other stream, but this is safe territory?
Hmm.
We both should be undefeated right now.
I
That's
agree.
just how it goes. Because
I agree.
because
That's just
the
how it
Villa
goes.
game should have gotten a penalty, and the Newcastle game, Joe Linton was literally riding Gabriel. So if we're
No,
being completely honest, this should be both teams with 0 L's right here.
yeah, no, absolutely. And here's the thing, is like the forearm shiver from was that Joel no, that was Gimmerish. He gave a forearm shiver to freaking Jorginho. You're like, what is this, hockey? Like, no, there should have been a red right there too. Like, look, I'm not a guy to say like, oh yeah, we were absolutely faultless in that game at Newcastle. We weren't. We should have finished our chances a lot better. But still, some of the decisions you got to just go, okay, well, they're just trying to play to the narrative and keep it close, I guess, at this point. But you know, and look, Staffy's saying the gaslighting is actually insane. Staffy, you guys, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to talk about my guy Flawless here too. You guys were twerking for Spurs every time they put in a good freaking run. I'm on those shows. I watch those shows. Like, come on. Are we serious? We're bigging up Tottenham Hotspur. Anyway, all right, I'm done.
Bissouma is better than Declan Rice, yet Declan Rice has the same game winners as Bissouma has red cards. This is the same shit we had to go through this whole season. So,
Yeah,
this is the thing. Some people saw the vision, some people didn't. We saw the vision. That's all I'm gonna say. We saw the vision.
yes, 110%. I just love how
It's
freaking
so rattled. So
rattled
rattled.
Staffy is right now. He's so rattled.
You know
No,
why? Because
no,
he can't
Staff.
control this setting. He can't
No,
play a
he can't. And
video.
here's the thing:
He
is
can't.
is, is like on American Waffle. I got clipped up because I think we're gonna win. I have said it a couple of times. I think we're gonna win, and he's like clipping every single time. I see him freaking running the video button every single time that I'm talking. But look, man, no, I'm confident. Okay, but let's get into the game. Let's get into the game because we talked about this on Sarcasm City last night. I'm pretty confident that we can get the win. Just based on our form in the midfield. I think if Martinelli and Saka show up, Odegaard plays to the level of the rest of our midfielders, we could put in a performance. I think on form and on quality, we have a better midfield than you. I cannot say the same. I can't necessarily say the same about the front three. I can't necessarily say the same about the back line. I definitely won't say the same about the keeper. Okay. But it's one of those things where given what we saw last weekend, obviously you guys absolutely slapped West Ham. But given what we saw last weekend, I think we can get at you guys. I really do. But our captain has to show up. But what do you think about it? What are your thoughts on it?
I think Arsenal fans headed into this game need to think a little bit more about how this game will be played because the game last week against Man United is not the correct measuring stick for this game at all. This game is going to be a highly tactical battle. Even if you're a neutral watching this, some people are telling me a 4-3, 3-2, blah blah blah. I don't think it's going to be high scoring at all because neither forward lines are kind of cooking right now. I mean,
Mhm.
Diaz got 3 goals in 16, Martinelli 2 goals in 15, Trossard, Nketiah, Nunez, Gakpo, all of them ain't really scoring. If it's not Mo Salah and it's not Bukayo Saka, then no one else is scoring from our front line, to be honest with you. Like we've relied on an Endo winner, on a Trent winner, on a Soboslai winner, same way you guys have relied on a Rice or a Havertz or an etc. to bail you out to jail because our forward lines have stank if it weren't for one guy kind of pulling through. And with this game, I think this is going to be a highly tactical game because if we
Mhm.
spoke about this game 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, a month ago, or earlier on this season, I would have said this was going to be a game of attack versus defense. This is going to be Liverpool's attack, Arsenal's defense. The way things are going on right now, it's going to be defense versus defense, low key, when you think about it.
Yes.
It's both teams, the two strongest defenses in the league. And usually, when you have a game in which the two strongest defenses in the league face, it's never an offensive warfare battle. It's never, you get a chance, I get a chance. No, it's a lot more controlled. It's possession, teams trying to press certain areas. I think using the Man United game as a measuring stick is already setting yourself up for failure because Arsenal will try. You need to understand, Arsenal are at a much higher level than Man United right now. Man United had to park the bus at Anfield. They had no choice
Yeah.
because that's their level right now. But Arsenal want to win the league. So they will now, of course, people who don't watch Arsenal think Arsenal are gonna go gung ho. Arsenal don't go gung ho anymore. They're a
We're
bit more
not.
pragmatic. But even with the pragmatism, I still expect Arsenal to attack, which will open up counter-attacking opportunities. So it's more this game is gonna be more of a chess game than the Man United game, So that's what I would say.
Yeah. What do you think, Dow?
I think it's absolutely right. I think the key battle is going to be between Samarkis, if I say his name right. Samarkis, I've said it like 10 times now incorrectly, but Samarkis and Saka. This is the game that Saka has to show what he's got because we've all known that he's been up and down since the end of last season, and this season's been, of course, up and down as well. If he
Mhm.
doesn't bag a goal in this game, I'm going to have serious doubts about how he's going to carry us through, especially when you get close into April, 1st of May. What soccer are we going to get then? But I know I'm talking way ahead. However,
Yeah.
that's what Husam said is exactly right. It's almost like whichever defense makes the first mistake, right? It's going to be whoever makes the first mistake is going to get punished because I still think the front three for both teams are really good. I mean, they're obviously two of the best in the league. They're not the best finishers that we'd always like, right? But when the time counts, out of those six players, someone will bag a goal. So
Yeah.
it's just to see who makes the first mistake. And to me, it's got their left back, Semerkis, if he starts, that he is probably the most mistake-prone player. But the other option is that if Trent Alexander becomes more inverted, Joe Gomez has to cover. I think Martinelli can handle Joe Gomez. But
Yeah.
I'm not so much sure on the lineup yet. But I also think that Jesus can cause problems for the center backs. Now, I know Van Dijk, Konate are very good, seasoned defenders, but Jesus has that part of energy about him that he likes to get in their faces and mess about. And I think at times this Liverpool defense has been a little bit sus in that area of just struggling with some center forwards, even though they got a great defense. It's just they can get aggravated, and I think that's when the mistakes can happen. So I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. And I think if it happens, it's going to be one of those games where we nick it in the 89th minute. One team goes up 1-1. It's a tight game. And then the last kick of the game will hopefully be the game winner. And I'm looking up for it. On the flip side, if it's a blowout, 3 or 4-0, it's all Liverpool. We are not going
Yeah.
to go win 3 or 4-0. It's either a 2-1, a 1-1, maybe a 0-0, doubtfully. But if there's a blowout, that will definitely be in Liverpool's favor.
Yeah, I've been seeing wild score predictions like 3-2s or
It happens.
4-1s and things like
Yes,
that. I said, I don't think there's more than 3 goals in this game.
I want
Period.
to see the mistakes. I want to see where the mistakes come from and who makes them, right? Because that's going to be telling to how the form of that team will get through the rest of the fixtures for the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I think, again, Saka is key to this game. Saka has to have a very, very good game. If I see him getting caught up with the ball, double teamed, which we know is going to happen, and making that wrong pass that's too far back or puts it past Odegaard or even gives it to Odegaard and then he doesn't know what to do with it, that's what I'm fearful of. I want him to be decisive in front of goal. Take the shots. Jesus is good at getting the parries. Allison's not going to catch everything, right? He's going to have to parry some shots, which does leave opportunities for defensive mistakes and Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus to do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just really my overview. But Husam, I think we're all on the same page that it's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be tight. Hold on. Speaking of tight, smash those likes up, people. We got 10 inside. Make sure that you are smashing the likes. Make sure that if you are new to this platform and you don't know who this guy is, subscribe to This Is Football, one of the legends of this community on this channel right now. And I'm sorry, I've already triggered Staffy. Staffy, we'll talk later, bro. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
Staff is always bitching about something. This is just his energy. This is just
I
his
know.
energy.
Well, I know, and it's just like, and you sent me the Staffy stressed meme earlier or GIF earlier, and I had me howling. That's so funny. I need to start collecting.
I can send you something else funnier when he makes his WWE entrance. I'll send it to you after the stream. You know, that's funny.
You guys are ruthless to each other, man. Damn.
Beautiful. No, I love it.
By the way, everyone
in
in the chat, share this stream as well. Hit that share button. Share this video everywhere. Yeah, I've just shared it on my community page as well, because I know many people who see that probably watch it on the replay as well. So make sure you guys are giving this subscription, sharing it everywhere as well. And you know, with what Dal just said and what you just said, the automatic logical response to the 4-3 prediction becomes, who's going to score the 7 goals? Because this is the question today. One of the guys was like, yo, this game's going to be 4-3. I was like, okay, so who's going to score these 7 goals? Because you look at the Arsenal front line, you look at the Liverpool front line, they're like, okay, like, it's not like both of them are tearing it up. Like, it's literally, it's just two people on the front line that are actually scoring goals, at least at a respectable level. You look at the rest of them, you're like, okay, unless a Szoboszlai scores a banger or a Rice scores a header from a corner, these type of games are usually the games that are dictated even by a set piece, something like that. I mean, Dal spoke on Tsimikas. Tsimikas has actually been one of our stronger points. This is why I argued him in the combined 11 with troops, because Tsimikas has been cooking since the international break. The biggest compliment I could pay him is I do not miss Robertson one bit. I think he's been absolutely fantastic for us. Defensively, been so solid. He's locked up every winger he's came up against. But this is the one mistake that Arteta can make. And I, even in the combined 11, I actually put all the 3 Arsenal midfielders, because I recognize on form our midfielders, like, come on, I have to be real. I don't think any of them start. I think the biggest mistake Arteta can make is go with Jorginho. If he goes Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard, that midfield will, in all honesty, is the biggest fear I have with the Arsenal team, and that will walk through our midfield. But if he goes Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard, then he has played himself, because Jorginho will not handle the Liverpool press whatsoever. That's where kind of like Arteta could score an own goal potentially. That's one of the things as well, because in the bigger game, he has been going with Jorginho. So the question has become in my mind. I'm kind of asking every Arsenal fan I work with, do you think they go with Jorginho tomorrow? That's the question.
I think that's super negative for us to go with a double pivot with Jorginho and Rice. I think that would be extremely negative. We got to keep Odegaard in there. We got to keep Havertz in there just on form alone. And that being said, I'm not completely sold on Kai Havertz. Everybody is jumping on the Kai Havertz bandwagon. I've said it once, I'll say it again. The consistency needs to continue, because we're seeing a really, really good month of November out of him. But we've seen this at Chelsea before, and everybody blew it up then. And then they end up selling him. Oh, we end up overpaying for him to bring him in. And he stinks for the first 3 months. Like, sorry, I'm not overlooking that. That being said, he has to start just based off of form alone. And Jorginho against any team with pace worries me, because that guy turning around, you might as well be watching an oil tanker turn around. He has no pace whatsoever. And I can't even say he's smart on the ball, especially with that mistake against Spurs, man. Like, I just really, outside in the league, I have not been impressed with Jorginho.
Yeah, I don't want to see him even on the bus, to be honest. I mean, I don't. I mean, if Arteta plays Jorginho, I will seriously be shocked. He should go with the same lineup that he had at Brighton. We had 28 shots on target, 28 shots, and like 8 or 9 on goal. I don't even want to see Jorginho at all. And I think that if any player, if they're not injured, who I'd want to see out there as sort of, if he wants to pull a fast one on everybody, would be Emerald Smith Rowe. And I don't even think he's match fit for anything like this right now.
Mm-hmm.
I dread every player on the bench. I want a
Yeah.
I've said this before. I want a 7 to 9 player clear out by summer time. El Neni. I don't want to go to all the Deadwood. You guys know who I'm talking about. But the thing is that it's going to just. It's got to be Havertz, and the Havertz thing. I'm still not sold. And I'd see our man BX Gunner in there say, a month. He'd say that's consistent. Well, that's what, 3 games, right? Maybe 4 in a month.
3-4 games. League.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Consistent. I don't know. I'm on the same page as TJ with that. I want to see 10, 12, 15. And it doesn't have to be, of course, scoring a goal all those games, but I want to see some major contribution because he's been a passenger since day one. And now we're finally seeing some of the fruits of the labor of Kai Havertz. But, just like all players, they dip in form, so he could be on a streak. Maybe he scores the winner at Liverpool. And then what if he doesn't go on to score 3 more weeks? Then you could say, oh, he's back to being inconsistent Kai again. So it's really hard. It's really hard to tell if Kai, and again, specifically, to this Liverpool game, how effective Kai Havertz is really going to be, because Klopp is no dummy. He's going to learn from last season when we went up 2-0 and obviously bottled that whole thing up. He's going to know from that. He's going to learn from that. He's a very, very intelligent manager. He'll have him set up, ready to go, and he's very aware Kai Havertz is, on what we consider somewhat of a hot streak right now. He'll be ready for that, bro. I just think it's those little mistakes that either one of the defenses make is going to be it.
So yeah, and here's the thing is like my biggest liability, I said it before, is our left back. In terms of defensive liabilities, because look, he is liable to go in, bolster the midfield, go inverted, and play, almost in a cam position at times. He gets that deep. He's very, very confident going forward. But if we turn the ball over and leave Gabriel on the left to freaking deal with Salah on a break or on a counter, that's where I think we're gonna be got at, to be honest.
Yeah, I was about to say Zinchenko does have to face Mo Salah. Like, it's not that's not the easiest game he's gonna have. Like, that's a difficult game.
Right. I know. I don't want Zinchenko to do inverted, right? Then that changes up our whole defensive complex, right? Because if because if in Zinchenko it goes inverted, Kai Havertz isn't Granit Xhaka who's going to run back and defend, right? So that leaves a massive gap. And we talked about this last season. That leaves a massive gap on our left side. Mo Salah will operate in that area all day long. So that's another matchup that I'm terrified about as well. So just the mere mention of Zinchenko, he can stay on the bus with Jorginho.
Well, and that was why I said last night, I'm like, do you start somebody in that left back position that's a little bit more defensive? Like this is where our injuries, which
he's in Spain, in Sociedad.
Well, yeah, I know. We could cry over that all we want, but I mean, reality is reality.
Injured though. So which real options have you got?
We got Tomiyasu injured, Timber injured, obviously. Our true left back is playing in Spain, so we have Jakub Kivior and Cedric Suarez for fullback. So obviously
Zinchenko is probably the best you got out of that list.
Yeah,
exactly.
Unfortunately,
exactly.
And he's done better defensively, but he's still liable to turn the ball over in the midfield, and then we get countered to hell. You saw that against Lens, and you saw that against, I believe it was, there was another league game where we got exposed to. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't Aston Villa.
The Wolves game, actually, it came from his mistake, even though you didn't end up like losing or drawing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we've gotten away with several close calls because of him giving up the ball in the midfield. Obviously, I think his offensive output this season has overshadowed his defensive liabilities. But at the same time, when you're going up against the best right wing in the league, it's not even a question. And there's people are saying like this guy Jay, he's saying that Salah's lost some pace. I don't care. He could still make you pay. But what do you think about this question?
The conversations about Mo Salah has been extremely disrespectful over the last 5-6 days. You know, people say the eye test doesn't lie. Well, the eye test does lie. because the eye test would have you thinking, if I bring up some older names like a Hatem Ben Arfa, if you go just watch a compilation of him, you'd think he's the next Zidane. If I bring up a Adel Tarabt compilation, he looks better than Frank Lampard. But it's about consistency. It's about consistently delivering. When you watch when you look at Mo Salah's numbers this season, he's the second in goals, first in assists, first in big
Mhm.
chances created. So even if he isn't really dribbling past people, he still is creating the dangerous chances, the big chances. I mean, he came on against West Ham, scored a goal, created like 2, 3 dangerous chances to score as soon as he came on. So he's clearly changed up his game because he realized pace and power ain't going to be there forever. So there's not a pace and power league till eternity. You've got to be
Yeah.
able to develop. And clearly, he's went back, worked on his craft, has been a much better playmaker, and he's actually played that role for us. So the idea is not even really Salah dribbling past Zinchenko, full stop. This is
Mhm.
about Mo Salah playing a pass in behind Zinchenko for a Nunez or a Diaz or a Gakpo to run into, or even a midfielder to run into, stuff like that. So I feel like, these whole conversations have all just started because of the United game.
Mhm.
What people need to realize is two things. First of all, Liverpool versus Man United is a derby. It's filled with hatred. So that game shouldn't be a measuring stick by default to anything. However, when you look at Liverpool Football Club against Man United, I think it was just a shock. It was just a
Yeah.
shock to the system because we went into that game probably thinking, okay, they're going to be stubborn again. They're going to attack us again. They're going to go and we're just going to tear them apart on the counter, score 3, 4 goals. But they actually parked the bus. They looked solid. Arsenal will not park the bus though. So this is what allows us more space to operate on the counter attack. So this is why I always tell people, listen, don't ever have recency bias. That's like me watching, Arsenal versus Spurs and going like Spurs versus City should be the measuring stick. Yeah, but that's kind of not how it works, So with that game, we shouldn't really be looking at it because the play styles are completely different.
Mhm.
Completely different. It's like, a wrestler coming up against a wrestler versus a wrestler coming up versus someone who just, who's a good boxer, as an example. So it's kind of two completely different fights.
Mhm. No, I agree with you. And big up Sheik every single time. Says big up HUSAM water break settings tomorrow. I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about?
Oh, you know exactly what it means, TJ. You know exactly what it means.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. And honestly, guys,
Hey,
if you
there's
have
a
questions,
fraud who supports Spurs who takes water breaks. I don't know why you hear lighters in
oh
a
my god, I
water
completely
break.
forgot about that. No,
Hey,
no,
look,
you
TJ,
gotta
I'm drinking water.
you gotta say no, you gotta stay hydrated, people. You gotta stay hydrated. Big up.
Hydrate.
You guys all know who we're talking about. Big up every single time. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you guys want to ask a question to Husam, myself, and Dal, go ahead and put it in a super chat. That's totally fine. We got a couple start here, but we're gonna continue talking about the Arsenal Liverpool game for a little while longer. But so we'll get into the true predictions here. I think that Liverpool is going to score first, and I think it's going to be off a Zinchenko mistake. I'm just gonna say it. I
That
think
Look
this
at
sounds
that
guy.
too
crystal
real.
ball.
That sounds
I
like a real, like, yo, this has happened before type thing. Like, I could tell. Yeah.
yeah. I still have not. I still have nightmares. And here's the thing: is like the fact that Jurgen Klopp had to come out and say, you know what, if you aren't gonna show up, if you aren't gonna yell, if you aren't gonna sing, then don't show up. Give your ticket away. Like I think that shows that he has a genuine worry, and he needs this club and its fans to get behind it. I mean,
Yes.
actually I didn't get your thought on that. Like, what did you think about those comments? Do you think there was some validity to it?
He's 100% right. Every time I've watched this is an Arsenal channel, but at the same
Yeah,
time, I've got to be honest. I think the only big club that I've seen consistently deliver a good atmosphere is probably Spurs.
yeah,
Other than that, most games you watch, most big games, you're like, yo, you're expecting songs back and forth. You're expecting the atmosphere to be mad. You're expecting it to be crazy. I watched Liverpool against United. First 10 minutes, the stadium was rocking. And then after that, it just kind of died off a little bit. And
exactly.
what he's basically saying is, look, we need every advantage we can get, and the atmosphere and the fans is also an advantage. Listen, people always say Anfield hype, blah blah blah. Arsene Wenger spoke about Anfield. Jose, Sir Alex Ferguson, all of the great managers ever to play in this sport have always spoken about the Anfield atmosphere. So it's a real thing. And by the way, what proves to you the Anfield atmosphere is a real thing is literally Liverpool versus Arsenal from the last 2 years. Last year,
Yep.
what we all remember what Shaka did, because up to that point, Liverpool looked disinterested in the game, like, fuck this, let them win the league, fuck Man City, and we don't care. And then Shaka just decided to go kick Trent and then piss off the whole stadium. The year before that, Arsenal started the game. I think it was up to 35 minutes playing really well.
It was 40 minutes. I remember 40 minutes
Yes.
when it happened.
And they were playing really well, doing well, and then Arteta just pisses off the whole stadium, and then it's like, okay, you want us to play? Let's play then, man. So if I'm Arteta, I'm telling every single player, listen, even if a player punches you in the face, just run back. Just let it go. Do not get involved in any fights and any of that, because the atmosphere will definitely play a role. Because it's almost, Mourinho described it as almost the ball just being sucked into the goal somehow. Like you just find a way to just find the back of the net. That's how I look at it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Well, let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. TJ and Dow, would you start Trossard over Martinelli? No, I would not. I would not.
Why?
50-50 on that. Well,
I think we need that pace down the left. Sorry, every time I see that icon, I laugh. No, I just think we need I just think we need that pace down the left-hand side. We need to trust the horse that's gotten us here. And honestly, Martinelli, obviously his form has not been as good this season. Right. We all know that. But he still provides that pace. He still provides that threat down the left.
Trossard has scored a hat-trick at Anfield last season.
Yeah, Trossard did. Yes, with a Brighton team. I do remember that. But I honestly think that this game is going to need a little bit more than that. I think we need our pace on the wings, personally. I really do. And then have Jesus or Odegaard provide the link up play in the center midfield. Yeah. It's one of those things where like I get why you would want Trossard, but Trossard starting this season has not been consistent. Off the bench, he has been very consistent. He has. I could see him coming on 60, 70th minute. If we need a goal, put him out there. Impact sub. That's my thought. What did you think, Al?
I agree too. I'm 90% Martinelli. I mean, yeah, he has been bad at starts. I gotta agree with you and Jay here in the chat, and Husam knows it too. He's not near as fast as Martinelli.
Martinelli's been bad as well.
Right. But he's faster, right? And this is going to require speed, right? So the first half, I mean, my hope is that we play our normal game and we just blitz you guys the first half and try and put a couple back in the net. But it's so hard telling what happens. But I think I'm with you, TJ. We just need speed. Try and hit them as hard as we can at first, and then see if Trossard can finish the job off in the 70th minute or something like that. For sure. It has to be the normal starting 11 that Arteta would pick when everyone's fit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and Trossard, even you could also argue that Trossard at the positions that Arteta is playing at haven't necessarily been his natural position. I think his natural position is obviously in that left, and he can rotate in and out of the 9. But I wasn't really impressed when we were playing him in that left side at 8 when Havertz was not doing well.
Well, I would rather see Trossard just sub in for Jesus instead of Nketiah and then bring Reece Nelson in on the left.
Yeah, exactly.
What I would see as a substitution, to be honest, because I don't want Eddie Nketiah out. He can go.
I don't want Eddie Nketiah anywhere near this game.
The bus with Jorginho.
Eddie Nketiah will get eaten alive by our centre-back partnership.
Right, and Van Dijk. If Eddie Nketiah steps on that pitch, Van Dijk's just going to be...
he could lift him with one leg. Let's not even go there. Like Nketiah is just no for this game.
It's just a big no. So, and plus we're saving his value for Brentford in January, just like we did Rob Holding's value. Yeah. So the thing is that Martinelli's going to start. I mean, we need the normal front three, the normal midfield of Havertz, Rice, Odegaard. There shouldn't be much discussion in that. If he goes off and puts Jorginho and Trossard in, then I'm really wondering how bad Arteta wants to win the game.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. If you do not want Zinchenko to invert, then by definition, Jorginho will start. That's the problem. Because Zinchenko gives you an extra midfielder and Jorginho gives you control. So if If Zinchenko's not inverting, then you kind of need, from a like control perspective, you probably need Jorginho to start. I don't know if you need that much control.
I think you're trying to curse us with the Jorginho name before the game starts. Husam, I can see what
this guy wants Jorginho. If he sees Jorginho in that,
Jordanian Liverpool fan, oh shit.
Here's the thing: is I do not trust Arteta. Well, Arteta's been putting out consistently good starting 11s.
Yeah, his starting 11s have been okay, but he doesn't trust anybody on the bench, bro.
Would you?
No, fuck no.
I mean,
I trusted Errol Smith Rowe for 4 years. Where did that get me?
Yeah. And by the way, Toxic, you're awfully confident. Why wouldn't we be? We should be confident to get a result, at least get a result out of this game.
I don't think 2-1's confident. 2-1 to me is lucky. Like I said before the show, Toxic, this has got Declan Rice in the 89th minute written all over it.
Right.
I don't know how else we're going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
If we win.
Yeah,
this has a draw written all over it. If I want to be logical, if I just put all emotions to the side, this just smells of a 1-1 right here. It just smells of it. You could just tell it's going to be like an Arsenal goal from a set piece and then a Liverpool goal from a set piece. It wouldn't surprise me if like Saliba got one and Van Dijk got one. You know, it genuinely wouldn't surprise me. Like a Van Dijk header and a Saliba header, because it's just too tactical, to be honest with you. So the sitters, Darwin Núñez or Nketiah. I'll make a claim right now. I think Nketiah would have scored more goals for Liverpool Football Club than Darwin Núñez.
I remember you said that on the Back Again podcast. Will you elaborate on that a little bit more? Just because I've been watching. I don't watch every Liverpool match, but I've seen the misses that I have seen out of Nketiah, man, especially over the last 2 years. Comical.
Oh, like levels, bro. Like
So
studied under Suarez. Come on now.
Listen, for Uruguay, he doesn't play like he does for Liverpool. This is the problem. With the Nketiah thing, like Nketiah is semi-clinical at least. Like every 3 chances, 2 chances, he scores one. When you go to the big chances missed section of the Premier League stats, you know, there are in the top 5, there are 3 frauds this season: Nunez, Højlund, and Nicholas Jackson. The 2 guys who are on that list that aren't frauds are Ollie Watkins and Haaland. But why? That's because their goals ratio allows them to have big chances missed. Darwin Núñez got 15 big chances missed and 4 goals scored. That's a horrible ratio. Essentially, every 4 big chances, you're scoring 1. He's 0 from 10 in the last 10 games. He hasn't scored a single goal last 10 games. So that's dreadful. You know, so with Nketiah, listen, as you know, as much as you guys want him sold and stuff, and it's not like I'm saying I'd take him as the starting 9 for Liverpool or anything. I'm just saying he'd score more goals for us than Nunez. That's honestly what I think. Because Nunez, listen, I'm done babying players. People need to step up. People need to just, you know, get their shit together and perform. These players earn hundreds of thousands, are worth tens of millions. All this babying crap, I'm sick of it. You know, all this. Oh my god, you know, the most pathetic thing I've seen. There was a video sent to me after the United game, like, oh, Nunez is so upset. Oh, you don't think we're fucking upset when every time, you know, he stinks up the pitch? Yeah, we're more upset than him, the fact that he's stinking up the pitch. So start delivering on the pitch, and you and us, we both won't be upset. So, you know, I feel like it's just too much babying going on right now in kind of football conversations. People are no longer placing expectations on players. And this is why I've seen people, Arsenal fans, be harsh on Martinelli, Liverpool fans be harsh on Diaz, on Gakpo, on all these forwards, because essentially we have the same problem with our front line, where like Saka needs some help, Mo Salah needs some help. Like I'm delivering. Get me a running mate. Get me someone who could at least get half my numbers, for crying out loud. But you've got forwards on both teams with like 2 goals and 15. Sat there going like, okay, like 2 goals and 15, and you know, we're supposed to just be okay with it. Like, of course, it's not okay. They need to deliver.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing though too, that people aren't really, and I'm gonna give players the benefit of the doubt here just a little bit. We have to recognize, and Arsenal fans have not recognized this, because obviously we're not scoring the amount of goals that we did last season. We're still like 4th or 5th in goals scored, but we're still not scoring at the pace that we would expect. But we're also not conceding as much. But that's by design. Arteta is doing this on purpose. He's playing a more possession-based game. It's not the prettiest to watch. Like, you're not – honestly, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, watching Arsenal this season has not been marquee. Last year, it was. So do you think that there's just been a do you agree with that, Husam? I mean, is there a difference in the way that we're approaching the game, or
I
am I
think
completely
I have
off
an
base on that?
unpopular opinion. Given the context, I think Arsenal have been better this year. I'm one of the few people to say this. The reason why I think Arsenal has been better this year is attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. If you're the strongest defense in the league, when you look at it, 95%, 90% you're the league winner. It's just how it goes. Because defense is what wins you games. Because there's gonna be games where your whole forward line is. I'll give you a prime example. Let's look at the Liverpool United game that just happened. Had Liverpool had a bad keeper in net, Man United win that game 1-0. That's 1 point
Mhm,
that's not on our books right now.
mhm,
The games that we drop points in this season, like draws even and stuff like that, it's always been kind of our defense going like, nope, we ain't about to lose more than 1 point here. So defense is what wins you titles. And I think with Saliba stepping up this season, Gabriel being a lot more consistent, I think Ben White's having a very underrated year this year. The only thing I would say is with kind of a little bit with David Raya, he does have a mistake in him, and I think that whole goalkeeper thing that Arsenal have got going on. I'll be real with you. I think Arteta has kind of caused that whole situation because with a
mhm.
goalkeeper situation, it's not like any other
Yep.
position. You need a crystal clear one and a crystal clear two. Ederson, Ortega, Allison, Kelleher. Even when you look at Man United when they were good, De Gea, Romero. It's just like the,
Yep.
the number two cannot ever think he could step up to the number one guy because it always will cause an argument and divide. And even when you look at Man United when they made the same mistake with De Gea and Dean Henderson, it was so easy to tell. Director has probably a headphones in his thing. As soon as Raya makes a mistake or Ramsdale makes a mistake, camera 44, please zoom into Raya's face.
Right.
And it just creates unnecessary drama. So I think Arteta should just went with one from the start. Or if his intention was to start Raya, he could have just
Mhm.
sold Ramsdale, used up that money to just essentially buy someone else in a different position, maybe a striker, as an example. Maybe sold an Nketiah, someone like that, gotten a striker. So, um, yeah, I think I don't even remember what the question was, but we're just talking about the
No,
defense.
we just went off. We're going off on tears. It doesn't matter. Mike Doss, I don't even know what you're saying here, but okay, thank you.
He's
Thank
referring
you
to
for
the
that.
Khabib video. I'm
Oh,
gonna
oh, okay.
smash your boy, guys.
Okay. You see, this is where I'm not hip. I'm not cool. I'm not cool
You're
at
up
all. I'm
on the
not hip. I'm not
Instagram,
with it.
the
It is
Twitter,
what it is.
Twitter meme war.
Big up, Fran in the chat. By the way, you got a fan here, Husam. You got a fan. Big up, Fran every single time.
Fran, the
Fran.
Spurs fan.
No, Fran's an Arsenal fan.
Oh, big up,
Yeah,
Fran. Big up, because
yeah,
there's only
Fran.
one Fran I recognize. Sorry, but big up to you, Fran. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, get your last final questions in. We're gonna go for about 10 more minutes, and then I gotta get out of here. I gotta catch a flight. Happy holidays to everybody. Make sure that you are smashing a like. Make sure that you are subbing to the channel, people. Share the video around. We got Husam on here for God's sakes. Freaking smash the likes. Don't let me tell you again. All right, starting 11. What do you got? Are you starting Diaz?
What I would do or what Klopp would do, because it's
Well, what would you do? Because I saw after the Man United game you were wanting to sell him like immediately, but you said you didn't want to use the United game as a measuring stick. So how are you feeling now that you've had a little bit of a buffer with that West Ham game?
I mean,
Mhm.
Diaz has been crap all year long, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's not even a United game thing. Like, from the outside looking in, anytime we face another team, I speak to the fan of the opposition and they're like, oh, Diaz is a good player. I'm like, no, he hasn't been this season. He's actually been shit, to be honest with you. By far our worst forward, despite Nunez being fraudulent. Diaz has been by far our worst player.
Yeah.
For me, our starting 11, if it were up to me, I'd go Allison, Gomez, Van Dijk, Konate, Simicas, Trent, Endo, Soboslai, and Curtis Jones, and I'd go Salah and Nunez. That's what I would go with. And
Mm.
if I am starting the prototypical
Mhm.
4-3-3, I'm playing Nunez on the left and Gakpo down the middle. So Gakpo essentially acts as a fourth midfielder when need be, because he's the only guy that can play the Firmino role in between quotation marks. So that's what I think. But when it comes to Jurgen Klopp, I think he'll just start the same exact lineup. Trent, Van Dijk, Konate, Simicas. He's probably going to go Endo, Soboslai, and Jones. And he's going to go Salah, Diaz, and Nunez, which low-key is a little bit asking for trouble, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I think Diaz Listen, man, this guy can't even, people are talking about Salah earlier on. This guy can't even get past his fullback or create or shoot or score or do anything. And I'm like, come on, man. Like 60 million. Come on, man.
Yeah. His father kidnapped this season.
Yeah.
Yes, but his best ever game was after his dad came back when he played for Colombia. He scored 2 goals against Brazil. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna kick on now. And 6 games since then, since the international break, he's just.
I mean,
I think
that's still kind of a reason why he made. I don't know. Maybe I'm grasping at straws. I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that to me, Diaz would walk right into Arsenal right now.
Yeah,
I mean, we just haven't been as consistent on the left hand side. I mean, that's
right.
that's
No, I'm not saying that
it.
he's like the best winger in the league.
But I've seen Gakpo cook on the left though. Like so. But then again, I don't watch enough Liverpool to say, oh yeah, like how often has Nunez played on the left?
Yeah,
he played against
has
the
he
left
done that several times
on the
this
left
season,
against West Ham, and everyone was just like, "Can we please play him on the left against Arsenal? Like, I beg you, just give him some space to run. If he's good at running, let him run over there. That's what I'm saying. So, I'm just playing him left.
You Liverpool guys are hilarious, bro.
Hey, he's been horrible.
The Liverpool fans are absolutely hilarious.
3 goals in 16. Bad enough. Yeah. 3 goals in 16. Come on.
Yeah.
Trey 007. I promise you would start Martinelli over Diaz if we had him. Wow. Diaz gets no love.
100%.
Martinelli would actually cook at Liverpool, by the way, because he's the Liverpool forward right there.
He'd be class at your club.
Yeah.
Just hypothetically off the top of the dome real quick, if you had Martinelli at Liverpool, would you even consider playing him up front as a striker?
I think Martinelli suits Liverpool to a T, whether it be on the left or down the middle, because he's a forward who's just a goal scorer. Like, he's a goal scoring machine. The chance creation that we've got, the way we create chances, let's say the 15 big chances Nunez missed all fell to Martinelli. He's bagging at least 7 of them. I'm not even going to say 50%. I'm going to say 45%. That's already 9 Premier League goals. So, yeah, I think Martinelli will absolutely bang for Liverpool Football Club, 100%. And that's why Klopp likes him. You remember when Martinelli first played against Liverpool, and he's like, by the way, Martinelli, star boy. That's what he said in the press conference after. Right. He gave so much credit to Martinelli. So I think he really suits us, to be honest with you.
I think it's going to be hard for us to just hold on to him in the next couple of years, to be honest. I know Barcelona came sniffing around. Liverpool.
It depends if you win stuff.
Right, you got to win, and you got to score more than 2 goals when it comes to week 18 and 19.
Yeah,
I mean, geez, 2 goals is just not good enough. I mean, to me, he should be 7, 8, 9 already. But hopefully tomorrow it's 3. Hopefully he gets a hat trick tomorrow.
Yeah, 110%. Yeah. Big up Jaminha. Would you consider starting King Kai Havertz up front tomorrow? No, I would not.
King Kai is crazy.
Starting 11.
King Kai,
the fact, and I know he's being facetious here because I think this guy absolutely hates Kai Havertz, but yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't want him anywhere near the number 9. Just not. He put in a couple of good performances against Man City, but I think that was by design. And we weren't playing football against Man City. We were trying to get something out of those games. We weren't necessarily playing football. Big up Jez every single time. Arsenal history and more. Go and subscribe to Jez every single time. Yes, real ones. You are a real one, Jez. Thanks for having us on your stream earlier today, brother.
Great show today.
It was a lot of fun.
Go back and check out Jez's stream.
Yep, 100%. All right, guys. Final questions here. Final questions, and then we are going to go ahead and get out of here. Dal, who are you? What's your starting 11 for tomorrow?
Starting 11 against Brighton. Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba. Right back is Ben White. Midfields Havertz, Rice, Odegaard. Front 3 is Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka.
Yep. No, 100%. I agree.
I don't want any surprises.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I know I was going to say
Jorginho.
It's not like if you say his name 3 times, he's going to appear. You know what I mean? It's like Beetlejuice.
Come on, bro. Don't do that Jorginho bullshit.
Arteta, please start.
He's going to be walking win around Anfield. He's going to be walking win around Anfield, taking a piss on the bricks.
Hey, one run from Thomas Lai. He's going to lose his shit, Jorginho. Please start, Jorginho.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine if you started Jorginho and Havertz together? Oh. But see, it'd be up to Arteta, right? He'd do that, and then he'd put Nketiah up front and Trossard at left mid or some bullshit. I mean, who knows? He better not pull some crap like that. I swear to God, TJ, I'm going to lose my marbles if he does. If he changes that shit, puts Kiwior and doesn't start Saliba or some dumb shit like that, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, there's no room for fuckery here. Just start your best and sub in, have Trossard ready to go. Like that. That's really it. Because the rest of the bench is not the level. Hey, but we might get Fabio Vieira back. So if Kai Havertz doesn't put in a job,
Fabio back to Porto.
Yeah. Fabio, the Portuguese scarecrow. Now you know what 35 million gets you in freaking Portugal. I'm never going.
He falls over.
Yeah.
Odegaard
I'm never
falls
going.
over.
Unbelievable. Yeah. TJ, did you hear Ornstein likely? Here's the thing: is that everybody is jumping to conclusions. Everybody's jumping to conclusions about the Tony thing. Like, let's relax. Let's relax a little bit. I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself until January, and then I'm gonna be very, very loud about them. But yes, obviously we need a striker. It's very, very obvious we need a striker.
Manchester City are a checkbook fraudulent plastic club that I can't stand.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, stuff like this in January. And this is something for both my club and yours. You're just like, can we just act like a big club and just sign the fucking thing we need so we can win this title? Like, it's just what I think, to be honest with you. But it's so obvious Arsenal need a striker and a midfielder. If Arsenal get those two positions, I think they walk the league. Same thing with us. If we just get a DM and a centre back or a forward at the rate that the guys for us are playing, we might just destroy the league. So, I just wish Liverpool go like, you know what? Hold that, everyone. Here's 70 million for Ivan Toney, and then we just destroy the crap out of the league, But it's probably not gonna happen anyway. But I'm just manifesting.
Yeah, all these people are saying. Sorry, go ahead, Dal.
I was want to say real quick. Do you think the dreaded, disgusting Tottenham Hotspurs could sneak in with an 85 million bid and take Toney?
If Ivan Toney goes to Tottenham Hotspur, he's just committed career suicide. I don't think he's that stupid. I think he's a very smart guy. In his latest interview, he said the next move has to be the move. Okay. And at the end of the day, he's played for Brentford. He struggled his whole career. Now he wants a club where he can win trophies. So he can go at the end of his career and look at his trophy cabinet. Harry Kane spent 15, 16 years at that shithole of a club, and his trophy cabinet is empty. He felt so shit. He actually decided to go to Germany to just guarantee a title. Like, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna win this shit right here. So, yeah, that's why he's getting recognition right now, because he's gonna win trophies. So, yeah.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have today. I have a flight to catch. HUSAM, again, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Really, really appreciate it. You are more than welcome to come back anytime. If certain ops need a cooking, you're the first person I'm going to call. But yeah, shout yourself out, man. Really, really appreciate you coming on.
First of all, safe flight to TJ. Big up for having me. It's been a pleasure working with you, Dal, as well. Big up to you for today's show. Big up everyone watching. Make sure you guys are liking first and foremost. Make sure you guys are subscribing to TJ Warren TV. Make sure you guys are sharing this video everywhere. As I said, I just put it on my community page, so just share this video everywhere. Share it with your friends. This has actually been a very good conversation. So you can find me on This Is Football. This is my channel right here. That's where you can find me. I'm not really on social media right now unless I decide to make a return. So thank you for having me, and this has been an absolute pleasure, man. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, and if you are not, if you live on another planet and you're not subscribed to This Is Football, the link is in the title, people. So go click the link, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell right next to it too. It's that easy.
2 clicks. It's just 2 easy clicks.
2 clicks. Are you serious? 2 clicks. Come on, guys. Dal, shout yourself out, brother.
Thanks again, TJ, for another great show. Episode number 41, getting close to a year. God, dude, I can't believe 11 more episodes. Crazy. And big thanks to Sam. I watch you often with Terry and friends, and I'm gonna shout out that fake plastic Fanny Gall. But I do enjoy watching a lot of your content, Husam, for sure. I love it that you mix it up with everyone and you don't give a shit. So I love that. And of course, big up to everyone in the chat. I see a lot of new names, a lot of Liverpool fans. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for defending your club. And thanks for helping us and enjoying in Tottenham's and United's misery. It's absolutely the best. Shout out Netweed, my guy. Old School Gunner, my guy. Jaminho, of course. AFC always. Jez for showing up. Great stream today. But TJ, have a safe flight and happy
Thank you,
holidays.
brother. Thank you, brother. This has been the 41st episode of the American Idiot Show. Keep an eye out for the match reaction. It may not be right after the match. I got some family stuff I got to take care of, but I will post on the community page what the schedule is, as I always do. Until then, come on, you Gunners, please don't embarrass us. See you later.